Do you ever have romantic connection in hotels?
Yes, I do.
Do you get pleasure?
真的不敢相信，丽珍有机会采访到我人生看的第一部情色电影，那是我小时候，当年1974年的《艾曼纽》，那时候其实我还没有出生啦，但是我后来在录影带店借到这部片，真的让我脑洞大开，没想到竟然我有机会访问到最新版本的艾曼纽2024年的导演，我们欢迎 Audrey。Hi, welcome to Taiwan, Audrey. That was back in 1974.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a time that maybe we were not born yet.
No.
How old were you when you first saw the very first version back in 90s?
I can't remember. What I can tell you is that I only watched maybe 15 minutes.
Why?
Yeah, because I felt I wasn't the audience.
Right,
As a
totally.
woman, I didn't feel right. It ends up, from what I read, with a rape. So it's to me a very violent piece of, I can't even say art, but you know.
That was in 90s, right? That's
It was a completely different period of the time. And you know, what was interesting back then and why it was a major success, they've never seen naked people on screen, and
Exactly.
the transgression was the interest of the movie. Nowadays, we've seen too many images, quite raw images, if not to say pornographic.
all kind of sensational.
Yeah.
And everyone see everything.
Yeah, and maybe too much. And my feeling that we are using our imagination less, and there is also less beauty when depicting those sequences. So I wanted beauty, not transgression, not provocation,
Right.
but convey people's imagination. Like, I show you less, and then you have to imagine, so you work with me.
Oh, wow. But you know, when you talked about the original film back in the 90s, it was uncomfortable for you. So what brings you the idea that you want to remake this classic?
I read it only because I was curious to know, you know, when and how it started. Strangely, the book is the story of a young woman, but she's the topic of the story, whereas in the film she became the object. In the middle of the book, you have a very long conversation between Emmanuel and, of course, an older man. She talks about what is eroticism, but the philosophical idea, you know. And I was really wondering if we can use it as a cinematic language nowadays, you know. And then one day, I'm thinking about this lonely woman in a beautiful hotel. And her job is to create the perfect experience for the clients, you know, the best pleasure they can find, but it's artificial. And she doesn't have pleasure herself. And then I call them back and I say, okay, I'm doing it.
Is this something related to your personal experience?
Yeah.
Maybe probably when you travel, you feel lonely in your hotel.
Sometimes. After I won the Golden Lion, I had the chance to travel in lots of countries. But I realized that in those places, people sometimes talk, but there are really no real connection. So I was like, maybe we are in a world where we are too self-centered. So it changing something in our life and in our sexual life, I guess. So.
Tell me something. What goes on in the head of a person in front of a closed door when they don't really know if they're wanted? If they open the door, they're either transgressing or fulfilling someone's desire. What exactly are you looking for?
Did you have any romantic encounter when you travel?
Absolutely not. I have a husband-to-be that I love.
Oh, okay, so no romantic.
So not for me, but I have encounters and I love meeting people, you know. But I hate when meeting people is not a real connection. You know, what do you do in life? After 3 minutes, you feel you don't know the person and nothing's gonna happen.
Right.
So me, I love to ask the question I'm not supposed to ask, you know. Or different or intimate, like show real interest.
Right.
Do you ever have romantic connection in hotels?
Yes, I do. But, well, due to, that's why this movie is very inspiring to me because I didn't. Nothing happened.
Well, it was a romantic night. There was a squabble, but then I call it off.
I'm Asian and I'm conservative in some way because we're framed in our culture. Yeah.
That's interesting. And do you think your country women pay attention to their own pleasure? Because that was the beginning. So. Yeah. I think we were not raised thinking how to reach our pleasure.
So this movie actually taught me something. Like, it should be fine. If I've seen this movie before, then maybe things are gonna be different.
But I want to tell you something. In the movie, it's not only about feelings, because to me it's also very important to say, and sorry, I am talking as being French, but women don't necessarily have to have feelings to have sex. This is how French people consider sexuality, like equality.
Oh, so if I just feel like to having sex, I can do it.
For French women, yes, it's a common idea that we are equal with men.
Right.
But it doesn't mean that we should never have feelings, right?
Right.
And of course, you're gonna have feelings and have a sexual relationship, but you are not forced into it.
Right.
So to me, this movie was also interesting because I was thinking maybe I can share our culture of the body,
right,
and some kind of feminist ideas. I mean, at least we can open the discussion, right?
Right, yeah.
Not judging.
Cool.
I mean, I hate being judgmental, and I'm just offering a vision of how we consider sexuality in France.
That's something also fascinating to me. Like you mentioned, this is the probably the concept of sexuality in French, but you brought the story into Asia. You chose Hong Kong.
Because I'm a huge fan of Hong Kongese cinema.
Yeah.
I could name so many filmmakers, and of course Wong Kar-wai, but Andy, Patrick Tam, Thuy Hak. I'm a huge Hu Xiaoxian fan. You have so many talented people.
That's true.
Talented actors, actresses, and the crew as well. And it's about time that internationally we open the gates.
Oh, no wonder we see a lot of Asian faces in this film. Japanese and Chinese.
I mean, there is a young Chinese actress in the movie. Her name is Cha-Cha Wong. But for that character, I've been looking in all parts of the world, Cha-Cha Wong, she wrote to me on Instagram and she said, I am the part. And she explained why. And I was
why?
Like, I'm sure it's her. Because she has a very clear mind about a woman's body. And she's really brilliant. And reading this message, I knew that she has a very strong mind. And I was like, this is her.
Have you decided to enjoy yourself? Why wouldn't I?
Oh, so back in the subject we were talking about, why chose Hong Kong specifically among all these Asian countries? Why not Taiwan?
Next one.
Okay, good.
It's really my first time here, and I really have the strange feeling. We have some kind of a common mindset. I felt some kind of artistic freedom that I felt it's inspiring. The electricity of the city, it's quick and it's very alive. And I could definitely come back here and do something. But I was raised watching Hong Kongese film. So I think it has really impacted my...
your childhood.
Yeah.
And you know that since you mentioned that Hong Kong film is such an inspiration for you, did you aware that erotic films was very popular in Hong Kong in the early 90s as well?
I heard. Honestly, I didn't know.
You didn't know?
I'm not a specialist of erotic films at all. And
so this is the very first one. Is it going to be the last one?
Yeah, I don't feel the need. I mean, I felt the need.
So you definitely need to see it.
Yeah. I felt the urge to share an experience with the audience, but men and women both. I think that a society that cares about male and female pleasure is a happier society.
So how do you balance that? You need to make the societal expectation for both men and women.
I really try to work on the different layers and dimensions that cinema offers to take the audience through all the sensations, you know. So I was very precise about the sound. The sound is like you can feel the fabric when her hands do like this. It's a bit, I don't know how to translate, but
even when she's shaving.
But all the little noise, and you know, I try to take the audience through sensations, and then everybody gets to be in her body. So you see the world through her gaze.
Desire ebbs and flows. It evolves.
And it's not easy to put one part of your experience in that kind of movie, knowing full well that people are going to look at it. So I felt quite, you know, it's a bit scary. But in the middle of the movie, there is a sentence one character says, "Fear, what a delicious feeling." And I try to hold on to that sentence. So I'm scared, but I'm happy to go through that experience.
Is that a moment of fear, your fear or scaredness when you make the film?
At the end, I don't want to be a spoiler, but still we really try to picture what is female orgasm.
Right.
And I
want to explore that too.
Thank you very much. I felt less lonely there.
Yay! That's why you make the film, right?
But actually, that's true. You know, sharing experience.
Yeah.
But I felt that we saw female orgasm in some movies, but there was always portrayed in a way where they were made to say to men, your performance was good.
Yeah.
And it's overshowing, and it's
Overshowing in porn, okay?
Yeah.
Not like that.
Exactly. So with Noémie, we were really trying to find something of our own, but something that sounds true to us. And I hope the audience will learn something about them. I really hope that we can share ideas through the body.
Both men and women.
Both men and women.
Good. So Leslie, like, if you are making a film for Taiwan, what subject you would choose?
Oh, I had a crazy experience yesterday. You want me to tell you?
Yeah, of course.
I went to a fortune teller.
In Taiwan?
In Taiwan, and the lady has birds.
The bird pick up the tickets, right?
Yeah, and they told me about my next movie. But now it's a secret.
Oh, wow. So do you believe that? I mean, do you find it accurate?
Normally, not at all, but I must say that she told me things that were true and unexpected.
Okay, so let's expect your next movie about a bird fortune teller.
Exactly.
You should get out.
Let yourself go. I'm afraid.
The delicious feeling. And what's your name?
别忘了订阅我们的频道，打开小铃铛就不会错过任何精彩内容，随时上架。我们下回再见。